Show.
Hello, basketball fans. I'm Ernie Johnson, welcoming you to 2K Sports. I'm here with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille. And our coverage tonight will be coming to you from Sacramento, where the Kings will be going up against the San Antonio Spurs. Not a lot to complain about for this San Antonio group right now.
Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Greetings, everyone, from Sacramento. And with pregame routine.
Well, guys,
Thanks, David. And it's clear that Coach Yeager is a details guy, an impressive young coach. And both these teams come into this game with a lot of confidence, Chris. They're playing excellent basketball right now.
Yeah, and teams like this will usually tell you they didn't circle this game on their calendar or this isn't a big game. I'm going to tell you as a player, they're lying. They've been watching each other all year. They can't wait for this game, and we're about to see both teams play their best.
Now a chance, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. The starting five on the floor. On the floor for San Antonio, skilled tandem of Leonard and Aldridge at the 3 and the 4. The timeless Parker and Manu are the 1 and the 2. And it's Gasol and at the 5 down low.
For his scoring ability, he was pretty selective, but he's always a threat.
Straight power, homie. I mean, he ripped it down with both hands.
Absolutely a resounding dunk. And the call will be against Tony Parker. That'll be his second foul of the game.
And that's already his second foul. He may have to spend some time on the bench to stay out of early foul trouble.
Mills, he's checked in for Tony Parker. Hield can't hit. On defense, Sacramento. And this game, the first chance they've had to see the San Antonio Spurs.
Yeah, and this game kicks off a 4-game season series between the two teams.
Yeah, I expect this first one to be a battle of wills, though. I mean, each side trying to gain the upper hand, not just for now, but for the rest of the series.
Now here is Aldridge after the miss from Pau Gasol. A nice shot by Aldridge.
Nice way to start the evening. His numbers getting calls, and for good reason.
Well, yeah, he's a guy who can carry you for stretches, long stretches in this game. You want to get him involved early and often.
And now just over a minute played here in the first. Hill kicks to Randolph. That one, no good. Nice D from Aldridge. From the left block, and it's Leonard. That time on the assist by Gasol. Leonard's got his first basket of the night. For Sacramento, they've gone 1 of 3 from the field to start this one so far. And Kawhi Leonard, the only player other than Michael Jordan and Hakeem Olajuwon to be an all-star starter. Greg win the Defensive Player of the Year and win a Finals MVP award.
And Kevin, I think it's fair to say that's some lofty company to be in. You know, you're worried with the retirement of Tim Duncan. Would the Spurs go through a lull? And they found another two-way superstar to kind of build their team around, much in the same in terms of mannerisms as a Tim Duncan.
And he gets contact and the whistle on the shot. 2 shots coming up.
Carter, just a freak of nature, one of the best dunkers the game has ever seen, a top-tier shooting guard who just embraces the spotlight.
And he sinks the second. Last game for the Spurs, they picked up the W against Utah.
I tell you what, how efficient they were at scoring the basketball, especially for an away game, that was impressive.
Well, good poise led to good shot selection, and that was the key to maximizing their opportunities.
So it's Sacramento now, following the bucket by the Spurs. Down low, it's deflected. Here's Hield, cans the shot with nobody near him.
And Hield is ready to shoot as soon as he gets the pass. The D can't afford to play off of.
But on that one, they were there. And he can do a lot more damage to the rim than that when he wants to.
Oh, you're right. And with the lead they're enjoying, I'm surprised he didn't put a little something extra on that one. Here's Hill, following the bucket by the Spurs. He kicks it to Hield. And a miss there on the triple.
a defender nowhere near him, and he still can't hit it. He wants that one back.
And plenty of contact on the shot, so 2 free throws coming up. And there's the foul that goes against Sacramento. The Spurs shooting their first free throws here tonight.
And they've had really good numbers all season from the free throw line.
Chris, you had some amazing years with the Kings. Thinking back on it, what was one of your favorite moments in this jersey?
Wow, clinching the West in 2002. Really thought that was going to be our year. Having my jersey retired by the team was pretty special as well. And, you know, just the fans, you know, when you getting buckets in front of those fans, it's nothing like it. And so just the memories I have being part of the community of Sacramento.
And it just seems that every pass they make is leading to a score. Just great ball movement.
The Spurs have had 2 chances at the line already, making them both. And the Spurs making a change here. Anderson's checked in. Well, as a Michigan man, Chris, we know you're always following Big Ten action. Who are your favorite players out of the Big Ten currently playing in the NBA?
Man, I don't know if I'll be able to go home after this, but I love Mike Conley. And
You'd be in trouble. I know.
Oh, man, I love his game. I love everything about him. His father, he comes from an athletic family. I just hate the fact that he's a Buckeye. But he's one of my favorites. And, of course, you know, you got to look at a kid named Tim Hardaway Jr. and Glenn Robinson III, dunk contest winner. Those guys went to a pretty good university in the Big Ten. So
they did.
There's a lot of great talent coming out of the Big Ten.
Can I mention a couple others like Draymond Green from just down the road in Ann Arbor who played in East Lansing? Can I talk about him?
I love Draymond. When he was growing up, watching him play in Michigan in high school, I always knew he was going to be a great talent. So, yeah, even though he wore the green and white in college, still a big fan of his, too. I think the Big Ten is definitely representing well in the NBA.
So it's Sacramento now, following the bucket by the Spurs, and it's in there.
Yeah, good awareness there. He sees an opening and doesn't hesitate.
Well, that opening right there, that's just because the defense failed to rotate. Oh, that's a brutal giveaway. A pass to no man's land.
1:05 left to play in the first quarter. Hill with it. Really played well against Brooklyn in his last outing. And they pick up 2. Cauley-Stein's got his second basket of the night.
Oh, and it's important for Cauley-Stein's confidence that he gets these interior shots to fall. The more he sees the ball go in, the more assured he will feel down inside.
Now here's Anderson. He's averaging around 5.5 points a game. And then Gay with the jam.
You gotta love watching Gay just soar through the air. An amazing dunker who just relishes these opportunities.
And Rudy Gay suffered the injury last season, but was still a wanted man when free agency rolled around, Greg, and San Antonio got him.
Yeah, I mean, the Spurs made a big offer for him, and Gay felt it was the right fit. Interesting to see how his role develops in San Antonio this year. Still, there's a feeling that he's got a lot left in the tank.
Before his injury, Rudy Gay had made some strides on the defensive end. In general, Greg, he doesn't get enough credit sometimes for his impact on that side of the ball.
Yeah, Gay has always been a great ball hawk. I mean, he's got long arms to pick off lazy passes. He gets a good amount of blocks for a wing player as well. Very much so underrated when you talk about his defense.
When you think of Cauley-Stein, the word length comes to mind. A huge target on offense and a tenacious shot blocker and rebounder on the defensive end.
That one drops for him.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
Now Bogdanovich, another guy who really kicked it up a notch for them in that game against the Nets. Here's the screen. Hill has the open look. Sinks the three-pointer. Hill's got 5.
And Hill's a player whose shot has to be respected.
3 seconds left. And LeBron throws it down.
And how about breaking out the Statue of Liberty on that dunk?
A nice way to pad that lead a little more. You're right. The scoring fast and furious as we end the first quarter. Spurs lead by 9. And we'll be back in... the San Antonio Spurs have really popularized that unselfish offensive style of play. Manu,
attack and find the open teammate, not try to solve problems by ourselves. It's something that we've never done, and every time we did it, it's not us.
there's a lot to be said for knowing, Greg, who you are and what your game plan is, and there may be no other team that gets that better than the San Antonio Spurs.
And Kevin, it helps to have that core of Manu and Tony there as the foundation and coaches on the floor for each new wave of players that have come through this Spurs organization.
Welcome back, everyone. A lopsided first quarter in the books already as we start this second quarter. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from the Spurs?
Well, already in the first period, they found ways to get this offense ramped up.
Well, yeah, small lead so far, but it's building fast, and they better watch out.
On the court right now for the Spurs, Parker and Green are the guard set. Anderson is out there with Laverne, and it's Bertans in at the small forward position. And Willie Cauley-Stein gets the whistle that time. That's his first foul.
And you can live with those over-the-back calls sometimes because at least it's an effort play.
I can't say he wasn't going all out, but he's clearly out of position.
Parker drives in, and the rejection by Cauley-Stein.
Out of bounds.
And out of bounds as the Spurs gain possession. San Antonio leading by 11. They kick it out to Green. Nice ball movement by San Antonio. Here's Laverne. Koufos with the block. And it's Bogdanovich in the corner. The dish to Cauley-Stein. Offensive rebound.
Oh, how about the deft touch right there, guys?
He just guided that ball back up and in. Just a fingertip touch on the ball. Laverne. That drops, and it comes off an assist from Parker. Laverne's got the lead up to 11 now for the Spurs. Kings have gone 1 of 3 to start out the second quarter.
Well, perhaps the biggest thing is that Coach Yager is providing the Kings stability in the coaching position. First time a coach has been here for multiple years since 2012. Consistency is a key in helping this team get back on track.
A big group substitution here for Sacramento. Skal Labissière's checked in for Koufos. Randolph comes in for Willie Cauley-Stein. Vince Carter, he's checked in for Garrett Temple. And it's Buddy Hield in for Bogdanovich. Then for the Spurs, LaMarcus Aldridge, he's checked in for Laverne. Kawhi Leonard comes in for Kyle Anderson. And it's Mills in for Danny Green. Hill against Parker. That's tipped. And the whistle blows on the backcourt violation. He went over and back. With a break in the action, time for a rundown now of the most accurate shooters at small forward over the last 10 games. Kawhi Leonard on top.
Obviously, looking at those numbers, he hasn't just been settling for outside shots. He works very hard to get a lot of high-quality looks in close.
And we all know sometimes players can just fall in love and become satisfied as just being snipers from outside. Kudos to him for expanding his game and finding ways to finish inside as well.
The Kings shooting their 5th and 6th free throws of the game. And with Jaeger coming to the Kings, part of why they wanted him is because he had success and a track record before becoming available, something this team knows they needed.
It's very hard for a franchise to find success when they're always having coaching changes. Players have to learn a new system each year. There's no fluidity, and it adds hurdles to the team's development.
Now, flying high and throwing it down with the one-hander.
One of his favorite moves right there, guys. Parker against Hill. Here's Randolph. And once again off the mark by Sacramento. San Antonio leading by 11. The drive by Aldridge. Here's Parker. Lays it in without an inch of room around him.
And defensively, guys, they've been unable to shut down the middle.
The Kings shooting just 35%. They've got to get better looks. To the middle. Here's Hield. A strong finish under heavy pressure all over.
Hield is a great scorer. He doesn't let the D affect him, especially when he's deep inside.
Here's Bertans. And it's Sacramento with the rebound. They're coming off that win against the Nets.
And we all know in a hostile environment, always tough, but they were the better team on that night.
I absolutely love the fire they showed on the road. You really could tell they wanted that one.
And Labissiere gets it to go. And Chris, I know you've been executive producing and hosting various TV shows. You had a great NBA career, obviously, and it seems like you continue to find success. How's that been for you?
Well, I try to take the same lessons I learned in sports. You know, when I first got to Golden State, the first man I searched out was Chris Mullin and found out all of his habits and stole all of his knowledge, and I tried to take that and move forward, and I try to do the same in other areas. I try to work with the best. I try to learn, work hard, work my way up the rookie ladder and see what happens. And so I've just aligned myself with some really great people, some wonderful thinkers and hard workers, and hopefully it'll continue to have fun like I am doing. So it's been a great ride.
You're always learning, right? You never stop learning.
Man, come on. It's not just about a school or a class or one mentor. It's about everyday learning so that you can kind of learn and put people's knowledge with your unique sense of self and make it work. Why not learn on someone else's dime? Why go through life making mistakes when other people can kind of let you know, wait, I did this, you want to think about that, and kind of just put your own playbook together.
And Pau Gasol, the bucket on the assist by Mills. Gasol's got his first 2 points of the night.
And the stick-with-it attitude of Gasol, just overwhelming the defense with his length.
Timeout called by the Kings.
Yeah, the amount of points they've given up here in the paint, that's what they got to talk about.
Oh, this is ugly. No question about it. And you wonder if these matchups aren't favoring them right now.
And the Kings will go for a different look here. Koufos checked in for Skal Labissiere. Cauley Stein comes in for Zach Randolph. Garrett Temple has checked in for Vince Carter. And it's Bogdanovich in for Hill. San Antonio also making some changes. Kyle Anderson, he's checked in for Aldridge. Gay comes in. For Kawhi Leonard. And Murray subbed in for Patty Mills.
Artful use of the screen there. Gains the separation he needs for a good look.
Here's Ginobili. Koufos grabs the miss.
Yeah, good interior D there, prevents the deuce.
Oh, wonderful anticipation. He reads the play perfectly, then with the quick reaction time.
That's a look you cannot pass up. It's also one you shouldn't miss.
Gay can't hit. The Kings trail by 9, and Rudy Gay picks up the foul. That is his first foul of the game. "15 seconds left in the first half. It's Bogdanovich on the wing. And so the ball is out of bounds. Bogdanovich touched it last. So it's the Spurs now. Here's Ginobili. Off target at the rim. And so it's the San Antonio Spurs. Ahead by 9 as the quarter comes to a close.
Thank you, Kevin. Here with Coach Dave Joerger. Coach, what is going to be the...
Thank you, David. And we'll be back for the third quarter of action following halftime.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime
Welcome back,
Show.
everybody. I'm Ernie Johnson. This big mountain of a man is Shaquille O'Neal. LaMarcus Aldridge was the story in the first quarter. He had 14 points, 3 rebounds, and 1 steal. And Shaq, what are your thoughts on how San Antonio played?
Well, they're getting high percentage looks, good game planning. The ball is moving around. Guys aren't pulling the trigger at the first thing they see. They are definitely staying disciplined.
And that wraps up halftime as the game is set to get back underway. Let's send it to Kevin Harlan and crew.
A lot of action around, as always, the Capitol building tonight. We are in... San Antonio with the ball. 9-point game. Fox and Hield are the young guard tandem. Zach Randolph is out there with Carter. And it's Labissiere in at the 5. That's the 5 to begin the second half for Dave Joerger. Hield kicks to Labissiere. Outside Hill. Back to Labissiere. But they get it back. Kings moving the ball around. 6 to shoot. Here's Hill. No good off the back of the rim.
That's a shot he's got to hit. You don't get many looks better from that range.
Parker, good, and the assist goes to Gasol. Parker's got his second bucket of the night.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Parker with the steal. Leonard against Carter. It's stolen by Carter. Now let's go to the sideline and catch up with our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge.
Well, guys, Kawhi Leonard has become a go-to scorer, but his focus still starts at the defensive end. He said, my mindset is the same every game. Whoever I'm playing against, I go in and try to stop their best scorer and then try to get myself going on the offensive end. Kevin?
And David, that's what you get with Kawhi. Mr. Consistency, one of the best two-way players in the game.
They need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
Hield can't hit.
They are a lousy 1 for 5 for the half. They need to find a way to get it going there.
And Buddy Hield, the centerpiece of the DeMarcus Cousins trade. Talk about what makes him, Greg, so intriguing.
Well, the Wooden Award winner in his senior season, he led Oklahoma to the Final Four, and how about leading the nation in three-pointers made? Yeah, I think that can translate to the NBA level and could make him a difference maker.
Now a timeout called by Sacramento. Nice game, great performance by LaMarcus Aldridge.
The D has no answer for him inside, and they better figure him out soon if they want to win this one.
A different look now for San Antonio. Laverne, he's checked in for Gasol. Davis Bertans comes in for LaMarcus Aldridge. And it's Green in for Manu Ginobili. Knocked away. It's stolen by Green. Here we go, one-on-one. Here's Laverne, and Laverne throws it down.
Yeah, getting theirs before the defense can set up.
That's just the aggressiveness of transition, making sure they come away with points.
Hill kicks to Labissiere. Knocked loose. The pass to Leonard. Here's Parker, and blocked. That one goes careening off the glass.
Just phenomenal timing on the block. Labissiere leaping up for the forceful rejection.
The feed to Hield. Right side, Randolph. And the rejection by Leonard. And here come the Spurs again. San Antonio with the fast break. And he jams it after taking the nice feed on the run.
And when you can outscore your opponent in transition, that's always going to work to your advantage.
Yeah, but you have to control the pace. You have to keep it up, keep the tempo. That's how they built this lead.
And the foul called on Danny Green. That's his first foul. And the Kings will go for a different look here. Koufos checked in for Skal Labissiere. Billy Cauley-Stein comes in for Zach Randolph. Garrett Temple has checked in for Vince Carter. And it's Bogdanovich in for Buddy Hield. Cauley-Stein up top. And Bogdanovich kicks to Hill. Feeds it to Koufos. He used that pick to get in close. Koufos has got his third basket of the night right there.
I'm sure he loves that matchup. He gives him a big size advantage down low.
Parker kicks to Laverne. Koufos with the block. From 12 feet out, Cauley-Stein. Rebound, San Antonio. Leonard's got his third rebound tonight. And he finishes nicely on the layup.
Every time they get scored on during this run, it's come from inside the paint.
Hill kicks to Temple. Good, the assist goes to Hill. Hill's got 3 assists in the game.
And that was the correct play to make. George Hill, a very discerning playmaker.
The basket counts and one. He'll go to the line with a chance to make it a three-point play.
One shot.
And the crisp passing has opened things up for them offensively.
The Spurs shooting their 7th free throw attempt here. A different look now for San Antonio. Rudy Gay's checked in for Bertans. Murray comes in for Danny Green. And it's Mills in for Parker.
You know, when he was in high school in California, Kawhi won the state's Mr. Basketball Award. And you look at the list of guys who've won that award over the years, it has a lot of the all-time greats on it. Just a positive force right now for these guys. And though his team has fallen a bit short, it's not because of him.
And Laverne kicks to Gay. Leonard inside. Cauley-Stein defending. And Leonard gets it to go.
And he's got the athleticism and strength to be a powerful presence inside. Leonard never afraid to get in and mix it up down low.
6 seconds separating the shot and game clocks.
And guys got careless with the ball there, and the turnover leads to the big stuff.
Once he came up right with the steal, he went straight on the attack.
And how about the explosiveness he shows, going from the offensive to the defensive end in a blink?
The Kings shooting their 7th and 8th attempts at the foul line tonight.
Yeah, pretty good numbers on the season when you look at their free throw attempts, right around 78%.
That's also good, so he hits both free throws. Spurs leading by 19. Here's Gay, and he comes up with the deuce. Gay's got 8 points.
And the wily athleticism of Gay helps him in these situations. Just so clever at finding ways to bury shots against defenders.
Here's Cauley-Stein, and he gets it to go, hitting off the back of the rim.
Well-coordinated shot mechanics, especially for a guy with his length.
Oh, come on. He's fluid from that medium range. He gets everything working together.
And so it's San Antonio taking a 19-point lead into the break. From the field, they have been outstanding, amazing shooting. That's what has them headed to a blowout. And we've got more NBA action on 2K Sports coming your way after this break. Welcome back. Fourth quarter action starting up. And Chris, power forwards today shoot a lot more three-pointers. If you played today, I think you'd be incredibly effective in that role. How do you think you'd be in that role?
Oh, yeah, I think that that's something I would definitely have fun and relished in. I did shoot threes a couple of seasons in Washington and was pretty successful at that, but the style of play was just so different then. Big men were asked to stay in the post, and there was a lot more work in the post, a lot more pressure on the big guy to get to the free throw line to wear down the defense. So the whole game was different then. The big man kind of ruled the game. Today it's a point guard's game, and so what's great is I'd have to step out to give the point guard a lot more room to drive, to take a shot blocker away, or because there aren't any shot blockers. And so I definitely would love to hang out in that corner and shoot that easy three or at the top after.
Look at that jam! Wow. I mean, just beautiful.
Sick. And when Gay is sprinting to the hoop, you have a feeling he's going to do something special. His dunks are just unreal.
And Cauley-Stein has it in the corner. The shot will not fall. Nice D from Aldridge. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. And he knocks down the first one. Chris, as we all know, you grew up in the Detroit area. It's a town that has seen glory days and hard times. Talk about what it means to you to come from Detroit and what you see in the future for the Motor City.
Well, it means everything to me to be a Detroiter. I think that's what made me successful in my career, is that I took on the heart of the city and the fact that it's a hard-hat town, a blue-collar town, and you have to earn your keep and you have to wish positive for the future. And so it's been great coming from there, and hard times being from there, you know that we're resilient, and so it's great to see positive energy enter back into the city. It's great to see the Pistons play in the city for the first time in over 20 years. And so I see the future is bright for Detroit because Detroiters are always there. And as long as we have the people, everything else will be good.
You and I broadcast the last game in the Palace, and I'm wondering what you think the impact will be with the Pistons, as you just talked about, in their brand new building.
I think the impact would be great, but for fans. You know, when I was younger, I wanted to see the city. I wanted to see our team play. And I only lived a few miles from downtown, but about 30 or 40 miles from the Palace. And so I'm happy that the kids that support supported the team, that dreams about being a Piston one day. I'm glad they finally get to go to a game. I'm glad that Detroit finally gets to really call the Pistons their own. What is it going to do? It's going to infuse positivity, and so hopefully for everyone, it's a positive environment.
Cauley Stein with a screen on Ginobili. And Patrick Mills gets that whistle that time. That's foul number 2 for him. Sacramento making a switch here. Labissiere's checked in. The Spurs also with the sub. Parker's checked in for Patty Mills. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Spurs will take it. We're about 2 minutes into the fourth quarter in this one. Parker kicks to Aldridge. Screen by Parker. Here's Gasol. That shot's good on the assist by Ginobili.
And the long arms that Gasol has is what allows him to drop dunks on defenders. What a powerful force close to the rim.
Now a timeout called by Sacramento. It's interesting to see the impact of technology on the game, too. I heard LeBron James. A lot of players now review footage on a tablet when they check out their play.
Well, yeah, you know, back in the older days, a lot of us went to the locker room and you would go in the room and watch it on video. So it's the same type premise. It's just that, you know, technology is better today. I mean, every guy wants to do it. You want to know what you're doing well, what you're doing wrong. You're all a coach on the floor. You're the quarterback, and LeBron especially is the quarterback of his offense. So it doesn't surprise me before that he's studying tape.
Just 5 to shoot. Passes it to Hield. Tries to snap the cold streak, and it's good for 2.
Hield has a beautiful jump shot. Love how it just glides softly off his hands.
And stolen by Bogdanovich. Labissiere, the screen. Labissiere with the screen for Hield.
Get there.
And Carter has it in the corner. Clock at 6. And it's sent back by Aldridge. And they pick up 2.
Right in his wheelhouse. Randolph putting in work in the paint.
Spurs leading by 19 points. Parker kicks to Gasol. And Gasol slams it in.
And how about the excellent court vision, just keeping the defense off balance?
Well, if you're his teammate, you love this right now because all you have to do is focus on finishing.
Carter outside. 1:44 left to play in the final quarter. Hits some rim on the way in, and the bucket's good.
A mix-up defensively. No one contested the shooter on that play.
Here's Gasol. Throws it down as the official calls the foul. It may be a three-point play. It's going to be on Zach Randolph.
And the wherewithal from Gasol there, nailing the shot despite the tough defense all over.
And something we see now in the modern NBA, Chris, is that players will try and recruit other players in free agency, sometimes almost leading up to free agency. How often do you think that happens now, and how is that, say, different from when you played?
It's a lot different from when I played. I think guys wanted to play together, but we did not recruit or try to play together with each other because of the way that the rules were in collective bargaining and because of the way the game was at that time. At that time, even if you had a friend that was your very close friend off the court, you wanted to beat him for bragging rights on the court. Back then, it was more of, can my team beat your team? Not can we play together. I tell you what, with friends that I had in the league at that time, that would have been pretty cool to play with some of my friends that I think were great players. But I just think it's just been a line in the sand. It's just changed. I think a lot of it's changed because we're playing basketball at younger ages. Guys are playing and traveling the country and know each other from ages 10, 11, and 12. So they have honest, genuine friendships and really want to play together. And so I don't really think it's a problem. But it's interesting watching these super teams and how all of this is developing. It definitely didn't happen in my day, and I'm just now, I won't say getting used to it, but I'm just now recognizing that, man, it's okay to play with your friends, I guess.
Oh, great effort there. That's how you defend the paint.
Yeah, he has that capacity. He knows exactly where to position himself to protect the rim.
Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. Bogdanovich dishes to Labissiere. The kick out to Hill. Poked loose. In transition, here comes San Antonio. And it's Murray with the jam.
Tremendous effort here on the road. That plane ride home
is going to be sweet.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't care how good you are. It's tough to succeed in a hostile environment. They're doing it in style.
And so it's San Antonio easily taking this one. A resounding victory for them. And Greg in enemy territory. David, thank you as always. And that'll do it, folks. For Greg Anthony, Chris Webber, and David